What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
Wow, we got an article from Mark DeSoma from Branding Strategy Insider. Wanted to talk about the 19 points of or signs that your brand has lost sight of the truth. Number one, it doesn't actually do what you said it does. The claims you're making won't stand up to scrutiny. All right, and I want you guys to chime in on this, and we'll try to get through as many as we can. I mean, if they're optimistic, unproven, and simply untrue, the claims that you put on your website or on your brand, you've got to, if you're doing a litmus test, if you know that what you're saying out there is not true, you need to rethink how you're voicing the success of your product. You know, number two, if your language is vague, you know, your marketing is filled with words that sound impressive,
buzzwords.
Yeah, buzzwords. Yeah, but and people think they understand, but on inspection, they probably don't mean anything concrete, right? Real, natural, organic. That's a big misnomer in its own right. Integrated, market leading. Well, do you not want? What company doesn't want to lead the market? Then they just they're transparent. There's nothing of substance there. How about if your brand?
They're innovative though.
They are innovative. They keep on coming up with those new concepts. Oh, how about this? If your site's packed with small print, how about that? Yeah. There's more exceptions, conditions, and qualifiers in the statements that you're making online.
I want to grab like the latest pharmaceutical fine print and just put it at the bottom of our website and see if anybody owns it. May cause death. You know, if you're excited more than 4 hours, go see a doctor.
I have no control. No control.
What in the world?
Let's move on.
Let's move on. How about this? It looks like one thing, but it isn't. I mean, there's some classic examples with this, with some eyebrow-raising insights. It's not always bad, but it maybe helps things look a little bit appetizing. Some touch-ups that you can do. Photography on food is something.
Yes.
Does this ever look like what you get? You know. Using disguising language, cue the euphemisms, acronyms, jargon, chemical names, wonky technical terms, right? Double talk mechanisms that sound like they're saying something meaningful, okay? But they're not. I mean, if your brand, and honestly, it's tough for an owner of a company or a marketing firm of a company to give themselves that type of scrutiny, because that may very well be how they're saying about all of the clients that they work with. But it's tough even from a company owner's standpoint to really peer through and see, are they doing it, because that's maybe how they have spoken in the past and it sounds authentic, right? Yeah. Maybe you're not being honest about where it's made or how it's made. It pops up in a lot of interesting industries with sensitives around particular supply chains. Wow. There's even an indication at first glance that something has been made in a particular place, and that it has a particular standard, only it hasn't. If it was been made overseas in something that was deregulated, right? Yeah. I mean, that doesn't pass the sniff test. Are consumers getting more and more savvy to your industry, you know?
And on the B2B side, like for us, we have subcontractors and offshore people who do work for us. Yep. And we're very transparent about it. We still touch every piece of content, everything that goes through us. The quality control is there, but we're transparent about it.
Absolutely. So absolutely. So are we. You made it maybe seem more popular than it is. Almost always percentages. 70% of people said or believed or agreed with something, you know?
Bull.
5 of the 10 doctors are
75% of stats are made up.
Exactly. Another one real quick. Maybe you made it more complex than it needs to be, right? You made whatever you're doing seeming more complicated, that people feel that they have no choice but to deal with you, okay?
Well, that's unfair.
Or maybe you scare people unnecessarily. How about that?
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. You know, it comes to words like if something were to occur. Chances of doing it so not high, but if you're confident the consumer doesn't know that, then you can get away with it. You know, wow. Flood insurance, for lack of a better description. Don't overplay your contribution. You know, you've undertaken all sorts of things, but none of them have actually made their way into service level agreements. Or maybe it's not always the reason or what it makes sense to people, but not necessarily to anyone else. So don't overplay what you contribute to. There's a number of other key concepts here. You know, if you've overlooked some inconvenient information, if you present facts that work for you and leave out others that don't. I mean, the whole point I think we're circling around here is consumers are on to you more than ever before. They're more and more savvy in online presence in industry. You have to, especially in B2B, you have to represent authenticity and genuine focus and content. Otherwise, if it's just seeming like marketing spin, you know there's going to be a factor of individuals that know exactly what's happening with your brand. So there's a number of other facts and a number of other points in there that you want to check out. Go see the links online at edgeofthewebradio.com. It's a great list of